HQLA is the Australian company which is hoping for its own $39 billion acquisition.
Yes.
This is episode 17.
Yes, it is. I would be more than happy with that.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go with that
As in
one.
with the acquisition.
Yeah, with the acquisition.
And that was a good intro too.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Very good.
Does that intro relate to anything that's happened recently?
Well, actually, now that you mention it, Nathan, we're hot on the coals here, as you could say.
Yes.
So, Afterpay Square deal. That's what's happened in the news
What's that?
this week. So
I did hear about that.
yeah, so what's happened here is that Square is buying Afterpay.
Wow.
So it's buying Afterpay for $39 billion in AUD.
Okay, yep.
I think it's actually a variable number in AUD, but I think that's the number at the time of the
yes, because it would be a USD figure, right?
I believe it's $29 billion USD.
That might
is
be a
the
little
US
bit different now.
figure.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
And I believe it's a $39 billion AUD. If I've got the maths wrong on the exchange rate, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, that's what I had.
About 70. Yeah. 70. What are we at? 74 at the moment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Afterpay's user base at June 2021
you've got actual things on there.
Was 16.2 million users.
Yeah, just
which
figuring out the armrest here.
Which is huge, and 98,000 merchants.
98,000 merchants. Yeah,
okay,
right.
so
did you say before merchants?
So I said 16.2 million users.
16.2 million users. Okay, great.
So that's actually a really big number.
That
if
is
you
a big
think
number.
about, say Robinhood, which IPO'd this week. That's
yes, it did.
I'm giving a spoiler away for my later news piece.
Okay, gotcha.
But that IPO'd actually 7 trading days ago, so 10 days ago or 9 days ago.
Okay.
So that one has 18 million users.
Okay.
And that's a very popular kind of app. So the fact
18
that
million users. Yes.
Yeah, so the fact that Afterpay has 16.2, little Aussie startup from Sydney,
yes.
you know.
They had recently expanded a bit though, hey.
Yeah, so they've expanded overseas and internationally and everything, but literally in the last year. So last year's figures were 9.9 million users and 55,000 merchants.
Whoa.
So the users are up 38.9%.
Wow.
Merchants are up 43.9%.
Do you know whether or not overseas they had to make any acquisitions to get those? Like, did they just acquire any other smaller apps or companies to get that?
Well, I'm not sure because I think that they're actually
a huge growth.
They are a pretty small business to be making acquisitions.
Yeah, okay.
I know that you know there's Klarna, there's all different international ones. Yeah. I even talk about one in the company that I'm doing later.
Like obviously in Australia, Zip is probably their biggest competitor, right?
Yeah, you would say that. I would think that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I think Zip is roughly half the size of Afterpay.
Yeah.
But revenue per merchant is currently at an average of 7,000 USD or 9,000 AUD.
9,000 AUD per merchant. Wow.
Yes, which is up 13% year on year.
Or 9,000 AUD per merchant for the year?
Yeah, per year.
Okay.
So that's their current. And consumer monetization is at an average revenue per customer of 43 USD or 57 AUD. So that's up 22% year over year.
The consumers are not the businesses.
So that's the 16.2 million.
Okay. How do they monetize them?
Well, it's when they pay late, or when they or it's all the affiliate deals and all the other bits that they get to spend on in Afterpay.
Yeah. Have you heard about the two guys who own this company? Or
I haven't heard the founder story or anything. I know they're from Sydney, right?
Yeah, I watched a 60 Minutes thing. It's low quality, and I have low quality content on this, but
that's fine.
It's like low res content, not very detailed.
Low res content.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what this is.
We'll put this bit in 144.
Okay, as I was saying, this is low res content, meaning it's not really very detailed. But I was watching a 60 Minutes article, and it was something like there was this older guy, let's say mid-40s, and he was living across the road from this young hotshot coder dude. And this older dude was like a salesman or something. Maybe he might have even worked in finance.
Yep.
Something to do with the two. And then he was living across the road from this guy. And the story kind of goes that like they would put the bins out and like they'd say hello to each other. And like the kid's like say 19, he's like 40, so like 5 or something, whatever, mid 40s, maybe early 30s. sorry, late 30s. And so basically the story goes that somehow they had some sort of conversation, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. Like, do you want to code that with me, or do you want to help me sell this product?
Yeah, cool.
And then they basically just came together and started this thing called Afterpay, and then it's just been acquired by Square, which is pretty crazy.
Very
Must be one of the biggest acquisitions in Australia, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a huge number for an Aussie company.
Yeah.
And so it's actually made both of them billionaires. I know that.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
That's
so,
cool.
I mean, obviously...
There's not that many in Australia, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how many.
You got Mike Cannon-Brooks. You got whoever...
Gina Reinhart.
But you got the other guy who started the same company, Team Atlassian.
Yeah, Atlassian dudes.
And then...
I don't know what their names are.
Well, one of them was Mike Cannon.
Okay. I didn't know that's his name.
I think his name's Mike Cannon-Brooks or something.
Could be. It's possible.
And who else? There's the guy from Western Australia who came back and spread COVID to Western Australia.
Oh, really?
Because he and we might get the little flag that says false news has been detected about COVID-19.
Don't talk about COVID.
But he spread but he legit spread. His name's Alan something, and he spread COVID to he owns like Fortescue Metals or something. Or he's like the original. He's like
really
the CEO at least.
Okay.
So he came back from Switzerland. He got it from a Russian translator
in Switzerland.
Okay.
Then
he came back through like Singapore or something. Then came back straight back to Australia on his private jet. Yeah. And then said, no worries. Like I'll quarantine, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then just went and did like his bit, went to work, did whatever. Didn't really care about the rules. And
really,
because he flew in private and got into his private car and went straight home, all that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like no one was there to stop him from doing that. No. It's like you're kind of trusted to do the right thing if you're a billionaire that's like, that doesn't follow the rules. Anyway, that's that
exactly
story.
Right.
But back to Afterpay, which I can cut all that.
Was his name Andrew Forrest?
Yes, I think that's him. Yeah. Give me the actual story.
Okay, I'll just click on it.
All right.
It says, mining billionaire Andrew Twiggy Forrest. I don't know why it's Twiggy.
Oh, yeah,
Forrest.
Twiggy. Yeah. That's his...
Is that his nickname?
Yeah, because it's like Forrest is
He
Twiggy.
says he contracted COVID-19 whilst in Central Asia. Whilst in Central Asia, Dr. Forrest, 60 Realties.
Doctor?
Yeah, his ordeal in an exclusive interview with Australian Financial Review after spending much of 2020 travelling the globe in pursuit of renewable energy projects. Yeah, you're right. Fortescue Metals Group.
Yeah. Much of 2020 travelling the globe. How good is that?
Australia's richest man said he caught the disease from a Russian interpreter after he joined the Fortescue travel crew for a 4-month tour covering 47 countries.
Yeah, there you go. 47 countries. Yeah. It's not just Asia, mate.
Well, maybe the Singapore stopover is where he got it.
Yeah.
Is that what it's implying? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Sorry. Wow, that's really just gone off track, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was very silly of him. Anyway, so we can cut in that. Afterpay's reported revenue number is up 92% for the 2-year period of financial year 19 to 21. Now, that isn't 92% from... this is a heaps interesting. This is a reported measure. It's compound annual growth rate.
Yeah.
CAGR.
Yeah.
So
I used that one last week. I think I did.
Yeah, there you go. So it's up from 189 million to 693 million in revenue, which is pretty cool. So the actual split of the growth is 45% and 99.7%.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool. So, yeah, in the last 2 years, they've just grown massively.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
remember, Isaac and I used to talk about Afterpay. We kind of... I think we were talking about it at a pretty good point, and we talked about it, and then it kind of went up a lot.
Well, we never really discussed it.
Well, I remember talking about it, and we were talking about it's interesting to see which businesses had the bigger Afterpay signs or the bigger zip signs out the front.
That's true, but I think we didn't talk about that on the podcast.
No. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean on the podcast.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Not on the podcast. Yes. And so I owned it at one point, and then it went right up, and I really didn't believe in the company as itself. Yeah, it's a good company. It's awesome that some Australians have started it, but I didn't even really believe in the concept of loaning people money to buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's not a great idea.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I understand that it's meeting a need potentially, but it's also causing a lot of havoc potentially for people who can't control themselves, which is their problem. But
so it could be a little immoral, hey?
Well, yeah, just personal. I don't know. It's not immoral. It's not unethical. What they do, but it's there's a lot of vulnerable people who can't control themselves.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And we don't need to provoke the whole like shopaholic mentality. That's all.
That's true. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's good. That's
Rant.
good. So Square is planning.
Shopify, what?
We'll cut that bit out.
Okay.
We're not looking at that yet. Square is planning to easily integrate Afterpay into its existing merchant accounts.
Yeah. Okay.
So it currently has 2 million merchants.
Yeah.
Which is a little more than 99,000 or 98,000, as Afterpay has.
Yes.
So it's got 2 million merchants.
Yeah, it's crazy,
and 210 million buyer profiles.
Okay, so it adds this Afterpay function as like a function for those people.
Yeah, so the fact that they've got 210 million individuals, whereas Afterpay has 16 million individuals.
Yeah.
It's a huge
10 million.
Yeah, and 2 million merchants, which is wild. So yeah, they're about
like 10 Australias.
Yeah, so they're about 20 times bigger in terms of merchants, and whatever that is in terms of 200 times bigger in terms of
I tell you a funny story.
20 times bigger in terms of
I sold all of my Square stock probably like 2 weeks before they did the acquisition.
What a silly boy.
No, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't care. Yeah,
it's more interesting companies.
There are more interesting companies. So they're going to be integrating it as an option in the CashApp, which has 70 million users.
Yeah.
And so the acquisition really makes a lot of sense there.
Yes.
As well as especially in the existing merchants.
Can I say just a random thought that I think to a certain extent, Square needed this acquisition because like in the last year, maybe even in the last 2 years, their revenue has been so strong from the crypto holdings that they've had in their I guess in their business.
Yeah, right.
And so from like where I sit, it looked like, well, this coming year really wasn't as strong as it has been in the last, say, 2 years. And so I reckon it might have not really looked great on their graphs.
Yeah.
And so making an acquisition like this to all of a sudden take on all these new customers and take on whatever, I think was a really smart move for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
sorry. No,
that's fine.
No, it is a good move.
I think so.
I think it really will integrate in what they've already got.
Yeah.
So I want to give a little bit more context as well. US banking policy is way behind on technology.
Oh, okay.
So they all use CashApp and Venmo to make transfers instead of logging into their banking app like we would in Australia.
Oh, like they can't transfer fast and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they can't.
They don't have Pay ID.
Yeah, not that kind of thing. Okay. It's like I don't even know if they can make regular transfers. Like I don't know what they do.
It's true. US is very behind. They just give each other checks.
Yeah, they give they mail checks like a lot. Like it's crazy. So they use CashApp and Venmo to interface between different banks.
Yeah.
And it's not really a thing where you can just send someone money easily through your banking app.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason that Square's such a successful neo-banking solution.
Yes.
And why it'll be a good interface.
Yes.
My next news story.
Okay.
Because it's a short segment.
Is it though?
Well, it's supposed to be
20 minutes.
It's supposed to be a short segment.
Maybe it's gonna go down a bit here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I feel like I was sitting up a bit high.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you're always a bit lower than me, and we need to make sure it's leveled out.
It's in the contract.
So we're definitely late to the party on this one.
Which one is it?
Netflix are adding video games to their subscription product.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go.
Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. Who we got? Who is this?
We have got our favorite caller on the phone. And your question today, caller, is...
I've gone all in on Palantir options that expired today, and it's gone down.
Palantir is a tough one. Our video is doing quite well on Palantir, but it's a long-term play. I wouldn't suggest
better than their stock.
I wouldn't suggest.
It's not hard though.
My life savings on it.
Speaking of that, we actually had an AMD comment before saying that he'd refinanced his house.
Was that AMD?
Yeah, that was AMD.
All right.
Yeah. He refinanced his house to go and also got a margin loan.
Yep.
To go even further in on AMD. Luckily, it did go up about 30% in that week.
I feel good. 30%?
So I think he did really well. So it was going up about 10% a day before...
From our video.
And after. Yeah, from our video. Before and after earnings call. What do you think about that, caller? Was that you?
Oh, my gosh. That's an incredible move. I'm going to go mortgage my house, remortgage my house, and buy some more calls.
This is not financial advice. Disclaimer there.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're going to be saying goodbye to you there, caller. Thank you for your valued time.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. But
Netflix video games.
it was a great time to call in.
I don't think I knew that.
So Netflix are adding video games to their subscriptions product offering. They're going to be doing that.
The video games are on the platform.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing that like from next year.
Okay.
And I don't know much more about it. It does sound like a very weird idea.
Yeah.
But
so you could go onto your PlayStation, open the Netflix application, and just start playing a random video games. I wonder what are they gonna come up with their own? Are they gonna license existing games? How are they gonna get those licenses?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you think about the way that Netflix started, it was all content that was someone else's.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that they'll just go, hey, like this producer, you know, like this video game maker.
Yeah.
Hey, like we're gonna pay you this much.
Yeah.
Will you help us do this? And then I don't even know if they're going to be like using their own like console. Are they using existing consoles? Are they going to pay Sony and Microsoft?
How do I play these games on my computer?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
it's very strange.
Yeah. It's like you're going to be using PlayStation. Are you going to be paying Sony? Are you going to be paying Microsoft to develop, you know, something that works better with, you know, I don't know, but
interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. My last piece of news is that Robinhood IPO'd.
Okay.
So it IPO'd on the 29th of July,
okay.
And in its 7 trading days, it has grown 58% from $34.82 to $55, with a current market cap of $45.97 billion.
What percent? Sorry, did you say?
It's grown 58%.
58, wow.
58. So it grew over 100% in one day.
Yeah.
And it's come back. It's cooled off since then.
Yes.
But
that was always going to happen.
Yeah, it was a rapid growth.
I'm surprised it hasn't dipped. Like I would have expected it to skyrocket and then dip right down. Like
dip back past the IPO price.
So that's interesting that it's still after 7 days up.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Bit of stock strength there. Do you have any news yourself to bring?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, hit me.
So allegedly, ARK sold all of their Chinese companies.
Yes.
Over the past week or so, I looked at. So I get an email.
They're giving into the fear. They're giving into the
right.
Yeah.
So I get an email from. You can sign up online on the ARK website, and you can get their trading for the day.
Yeah.
Have
right.
you seen that?
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of days where they're selling.
There's also a website that's specifically dedicated to what ARK does.
That's right.
Which is heaps interesting.
That's right.
Someone's a real fanboy there.
Exactly. And so you can see their buys and sells. And so they've been selling a lot of the Chinese companies over the last week. So for them, like so you can see the percent of the portfolio that they're selling. And so they've done a 1% on 2 occasions of the JD.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever company that is.
I think it's just JD.
JD?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's pretty massive. I haven't seen a 1% before. It's usually like less than 0.5%, much less than 0.5% in a single trade of the portfolio. Of that particular portfolio. So pretty drastic measures from
So
Cathy.
1% of the total portfolio
value, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. And so there you go. That's interesting. Another one is Salesforce officially acquired Slack.
Yes, that's been a long time coming.
That's right. And we'll like integrate it into their, I guess their CRM and all of their.
So is it going to be trading under CRM?
Well, I don't know. I listened to a few things on it. My understanding is that they're going to try and integrate it completely into all of their current software.
Yep.
And that Slack. In regards to operational, Slack will operate still as they are,
right?
As a separate business to a certain extent. So they're not going to disrupt their workflow. And then the only other one, which is a little more Australia-based, is that BHP announced like a nickel supply agreement with Tesla.
That's right.
Which is kind of cool because it's like, name the most boring company, name the most interesting company, and the two of them have like made a deal.
Going to offend a lot of people with that one. There's a lot of BHP supporters.
Like, name the company that all of the
Unless you're calling Tesla boring.
Yeah, who knows which one? Like, one of them is like, because it's just interesting, because like at uni, like all of the professors are like, very pro BHP.
Yeah.
And very like think that Tesla is just crazy in the valuation and all this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the fact that the two of them are making an agreement is just like funny.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. A lot of people that where I used to work really hated Tesla. So.
Right. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of traditional financial people, I think,
definitely
hate Tesla.
Yeah. But the problem
Not
with
us,
BHP...
though. I don't hate Tesla.
Well, the problem with BHP is that... Well, the problem with any mining company, my main issue, the only way that you can make more money than last year is digging a bigger hole.
It's good.
And the only way to dig a bigger hole is to like go and offend a lot more people and find something worse and then get protests against you and then get policymakers working against you. Yeah. And you literally just have to pay policymakers on the other side even more money to continue.
It's true. You're just digging a bigger hole, both PR related and physical.
Yeah. Not good for the brand. No. So
yes, very good.
I think that's our news.
No, that's it. That's perfect.